Good morning and welcome to A Closer Look. I'm your host, Linda Fontaine. Today, my special guest is my friend Scott Eddlemon. He is the Executive Director of the Symphony of the Mountains Orchestra, and he is fantastic. We have him here all the time because we just love the orchestra around here. Thank you for being here today, Scott.
Thank you.
Now tell us, things have changed this year. Everybody I've had on the last few months, you know, it's all about the pandemic and COVID. So that's made such an impact in the way we do things anymore, our new normal as they call it. Talk to me about what's going on with the symphony these days with it all.
Yes, boy, has it ever made a difference for us. Back in March, we had to cancel or postpone our final orchestra concert, our chorus concert, our youth orchestra concerts. And then sadly, we had to give up our summer concerts because those are always favorites.
Those are so wonderful.
Down in Blowing Rock, North Carolina, and up in Wise, Virginia, and here at Allendale. So no live music this summer, I'm afraid. But Cornelia, our music director, and I have been on the phone every day saying, okay, what can we do? What can we do? A lot of our colleague orchestras around the country have actually canceled the entire fall. They're not even going to try and play any music until January, if then. But Cornelia and I feel like we have to have live music somehow or another. So we put our heads together. We've been thinking outside the box, and what we're doing for the fall is a series of concerts with our smaller ensembles.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, actually in a sort of a make lemonade out of lemons way, we're going to highlight each section of the orchestra each month. Because, you know, we have to think not only about the safety of our audience, but also of our musicians.
Yes.
So in September, we're going to have an outdoor concert at Allendale with our brass quintet, 5 players. They'll be on the stage there. And I think this one's particularly going to be a ton of fun. It's outdoors. People are desperate to come to something and to hear some live music. And there's plenty of room there at Allendale to spread out, to social distance, to bring picnics and just be in your own clusters around the place. And there's plenty of room for our musicians to be there. But I especially like this one because to me it's evocative of the old summer park concerts with the brass band under the gazebo that used to have, dare I say, in the last century. But it used to be a wonderful, popular thing for families. And so this is going to be similar to that. Our brass quintet, they're going to do 2 performances. The first one's September 12th at Allendale at 6 p.m. And then the next day, they're going to play up at the Mountain Empire Community College in Big Stone Gap so that our friends in Virginia can also enjoy an outdoor, socially distanced concert. Then, in October, we have sort of a group we're premiering that we're calling the Mountain Strings. It's our string section of the orchestra. And actually, this is something we've been working on for a year or 2 now. We wanted a group that we could take out into the communities, the isolated communities of Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. Communities that, you know, it would take them an hour and a half to get here to hear some live music. We want to take the music to them. And we have a grant from the James and Laura Rogers Foundation to premiere this in our, not this season, but next season, which is our 75th anniversary season.
Wow.
And so they've given us some funding to help us to take our Mountain Strings group out into the communities to do maybe 45-minute concerts with bluegrass, Appalachian music, classical music, maybe some hymn tunes, this kind of thing, so that people can hear this music. But since we had to change things around this year and couldn't have our big orchestra concerts in the fall, we're going to have a sort of a early premiere of this group that we'll be doing in October. They're going to be a concert, hopefully outdoors, at Emory and Henry College, October 10th at 4 p.m. And then the next day here in Kingsport at First Presbyterian Church. That will be an indoor concert, but it will be a safe distance concert in that large sanctuary that they have with our Mountain Strings. And then the final one of this sort of first phase series of concerts will be our woodwind quintet. We'll feature our woodwinds. And also as a kind of a fun feature, we're having a piano jazz trio with a cello solo with our principal cellist, Matt Wilkinson. And that group will play the really intriguing Suite for Cello and Jazz Piano Trio by Claude Bowling. That was written for Yo-Yo Ma, and it's just a fun piece along with the woodwind concert. These will be November 13th at First Presbyterian Church in Bristol, and then also at UVA Wise in Wise, Virginia. Now, the neat thing about these 3 concerts, we wanted to make them so that they're safe. So, first of all, they're free. All 3 concerts are free. One of the things that means that there's no tickets to worry about handling, no money to handle, no credit cards or anything like that. They're also shorter than normal, so there's no intermission. There won't be a time where people might want to gather and yak with their friends, but come in and enjoy the concert for 45 minutes to an hour, and then move along and be gone. And also there won't be any programs. We'll announce the program from the front. So we've made these concerts as safe as we possibly can for both musicians and audience. Then we want to try and get back into the orchestra in December.
Boy, you're
we
busy.
believe the community is going to be desperate for a holiday concert. So we're going to do that. It'll be a bit different this year. We won't have our guest groups. We won't have a chorus. It's going to be just the orchestra shining in a presentation of classic and popular holiday music. And what we're doing this year, you know, we usually have a full auditorium at the Toy F. Reed Hall at Eastman. We're going to do, instead of one big concert, we're going to do 2 shorter concerts so that we can have a smaller number of people in the hall. So we'll repeat it twice on December the 5th and 2 one-hour performances. We'll also do a performance up in Abingdon. After that, we're hoping that things will return more to normal. So starting in January, we'll be back to regular performances. Just briefly to give you a feel for that, the first concert, it's going to be an interesting one. It's called Isotone, a collision of science and music. And Stephen Orth from Eastman Chemical Company is going to join us and consult with us. And we're going to do some weird music using some labware. We also have a couple of pieces that have been composed for us celebrating Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking. And it'll just be a fun thing. We're doing that at the Renaissance Center in the little auditorium. And then in February, finally, our Happy Birthday Beethoven concert, which was the one that was canceled in March. And Christina Bowie, who was supposed to play, she'll be back from New York with her Stradivarius violin. And we'll do the Beethoven Violin Concerto. We talked about this last spring. It was such a tragic thing to have to postpone that, but we're going to do it in February. And then English Delights concert with the chorus, hopefully our first choral concert of the year, doing music by the English composer John Rutter. And this will be preceded by our postponed gala, which will be on a Downton Abbey theme. So that one's going to be a ton of fun. That'll be April 10th at Meadowview.
Okay.
We had hoped to have our postponed gala this September, but it's just too soon. So everybody put that in your books, April 10th for our next gala. And then finally in May, we'll wrap up the season with a special concert called When Instruments Roamed the Earth that presents our musical instruments as if they were dinosaurs from the past. That'll be real fun for the whole family.
Wow. That is a full schedule. I love it. I love that even though we've had all this going on with the pandemic, you guys are still moving forward.
Yes.
You're thinking ahead. You're prepared. You're thinking positive. And I love that because we just can't do anything right now. And if we plan it, it's just going to get canceled. So you were supposed to have the gala September 19th, I believe. So now it's going to be April 10th.
April 10th.
So that's something to look forward to. And I like that we have these things to look forward to. So just to recap a little bit, if I got this straight, you're going to have the brass quartet, and that's going to have 2 performances. So that's the next thing that's coming up. That's the first thing we have to look forward to. And that is going to be September 12th and 13th, starting off in Allendale.
Yes.
And if people want to look for more information, you're going to have it all on the symphonyofthemountains.org website. Am I right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I'm looking to make sure I have the website right. Symphonyofthemountains.org to look at all these. And I think that's pretty cool that you're doing this brass quartet, then the strings and all
Yes.
these things. That is pretty cool.
It'll be really great for our audiences to hear just those sections by themselves for a change instead of all together.
I love that. I mean, that is really cool that, you know, sometimes out of these adversities, we come up with these even more creative ideas. So
That's
that is
right.
really something to look forward to. So let's remind people, symphonyofthemountains.org. The gala's been changed to April. So the next thing coming up for the symphony is the brass quartet, September 12th at Ellendale. And then the next day, you're going to have it at Mountain Empire on
Yes.
the 13th. Okay, make sure I have that straight. And then you've got so many things listed. There's so
We'll
much to
have
look forward
something every
to.
month because live music, we just need live music, and live theater. We need both of those back in our lives as soon as possible.
I agree with you 100%. Scott, thank you for being here. As usual, you are a font of information and wonderful information. Tell Cornelia I said hello.
Yes.
I miss seeing the concerts, so this is something I have to look forward to. So thank you so much for being here, and look forward to having you again soon. Thank you for being a part of A Closer Look. We'll be back again next week or for the second half, however we decide to air this. Before you know it, thank you for joining us. Have a beautiful day.